Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, I have got this new log splitter, 27-ton black diamond, and I want to try to split up as much of this firewood as humanly possible. Some of these rounds are much too big, like 24-inch red oak. It's like 24 by 24-inch chunk of green red oak, and I want to figure out the most efficient way to both get these cut up and get them into the back of the truck using whatever tools I have at my disposal. Welcome to Man Time. Alright men, well I am going to look at this from an engineering standpoint as a efficiency expert and teach, how to make efficient and effective processes. This kind of falls right into my wheelhouse, right? We're looking at parts, people, and process, the 3P's. So the process is the splitting of the wood, right? We've got to get the wood from somewhere to the splitter to somewhere else into smaller pieces. That's the long and short of it there. Some of the pieces are bigger, some of them are smaller, all, logistical things that we can figure out along the way. People, this is my workstation, right? This is where the handle is. This is where the operator is meant to stand and feed wood. Now, from a people perspective and the process that I'm going to be going through, I need to be cognizant of bending, twisting, all that stuff, right? So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to try to pick up a huge, probably 100-pound plus chunk of wood and try to get it up here. So I'm going to look for ways that I can basically stand here and pull the lever and throw off pieces of wood. So I'm going to be using a couple things to do that. I'm going to show those tools to you now. So yeah, the parts is the firewood. Getting those to me, again, parts, people, process. So I think that is pretty much all of them. Let's look at some of the tools you might have available to you to make this as efficient as possible. But I'm going to be looking at it from the operator's perspective. I want to basically grab wood, load wood, and throw little pieces of wood. So if I can do that within one step, or without even having to move my feet. The best option would be for me to not have to move my feet, bring the wood to me, be able to set it on here, and then throw it off as I'm running the splitter. So let's see if we can make that happen. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a big, big mess. So, it doesn't make sense to move the splitter and the truck and everything to the wood, because the wood is too spread out, right? There's a bunch of it over here, much bigger pieces. Some smaller pieces over here. Some of that has already been split. One thing you could think about using is a wheelbarrow, and this is the style wheelbarrow you want to get. It's got dual front wheels on it and a big handle here. But if you don't have a wheelbarrow that has, the two front wheels to stabilize it, you've got the wrong wheelbarrow. This design here, basically, no matter what, you want to have the two front wheels to stabilize that load in the wheelbarrow. That wasn't the best one that is maybe available, but it was what was available. I would like to see that with a metal, dump tray on it versus the plastic there. But those are the no flat tires. And, if you've got that and you've got your wood splitter and you've got a place to throw it right beside it, that would be a pretty good option. If you do have a tractor with a bucket, that might be a better option. So I've got my Mahindra here. I've got a bucket. So what I'm going to do is bring the bucket up to some of these pieces, load the bucket up, and then pull the bucket up as close to there as possible where I am not moving from my work position. Now, some of these larger ones like this, these aren't even effective to move, into the bucket and then try to load by hand. So I'm going to be starting off running the log splitter in the vertical position and trying to cut up some of these much, much bigger ones and also some of those much, much bigger ones. Well, being a lean manufacturing expert, I always try to eliminate the waste to create value. And the value we create here is, again, turning, rounds into chunks of wood, firewood, right? So if I can get these split to where I can handle them basically in half without having to do anything else to them but use this axe. That's what I'm going to try to do. So, you know, maybe we don't even have to set this up in the vertical position. Maybe we can just get these in half and then load them on there and split them from there, right, in the horizontal position, and just keep it in the horizontal position so we don't have a changeover. Likelihood, not likely. These things are massive, but we should probably give it a try, just for the heck of it, right? Let's try it. I see it's kind of got a split here, it's kind of got a split here, and it's even got a little check there. So let's try it out. Also I got a knot right there, so I don't know, but we'll try it. This axe, I actually handled this axe on the channel. You can go a few videos back if you want to subscribe and see how, you know, I handled this axe. Nice wedge shape, about 5 pounds. So we'll just try it out, see what we can do here. Oh. Yeah, the 27-ton log splitter is probably going to have a problem with this one. Oh. Yeah, it's just bouncing, kicking it right back. And it's not like, I mean, the profile on this is, I mean, it's a wedge shape, but I should be able to dig that, you know, first inch in without really a problem. Hitting the same spot. Now, one thing they say when you're splitting wood, I guess we should talk about the, you know, best way to split wood. You don't want to aim straight for the middle. You want to go along the outside. And I've seen where you can kind of chip off chunks off of the outside, but you want to stay to the outside and try to get it splitting outside to inside. So maybe we should adjust our approach a little bit here. There we go. Well, that actually worked out pretty well. Let's also try taking chips off of the side of it here. That's not going to work as well in oak because it's got the cambium layer that's pretty punky. Typically, the inside heartwood is going to be, you know, really where it's going to be hard. Let's try again on the outside edge here. Look at there. Got a crack. Ran all the way across there. Let's get it a little closer and, you know, see how we're doing here. Yeah, I did another video not too long ago about, you know, asking the question whether or not you should actually try to split red oak. Yeah, this one is 24 inches plus across here. So, it's going to be a little difficult, but we'll continue to try anyway. Where's this wanting to go? Yeah, I can kind of see a crack forming here. Yeah, we can also try, you know, some different angles here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've hit it no less than 24 times, and nothing's happening. So, Alright, R&D part of the process is over. This axe, as good as it is, doesn't stand a chance to try to split red oak by hand. Holy crap. Well, this gives us the opportunity to figure out how to get this to the vertical position. It looks like this is the pin right here. So, what do we got holding it in here? Oh, I guess it's just pull out. That it? Yeah, it looks like it just pulls out, and then you should be able to lift it up, unless I'm missing something. Operational manual inside of there. We aren't even going to attempt to open that up, are we? What's this here? Has that got something to do with anything? I don't know. There's another pin that looks like it goes through there when it's in the upright position. Well, let's try. Okay, it's just heavy. There we go. All right, and then to lock it into place. What is that even doing? Yeah, so right down here, there's a hole for a pin right there. Now you don't want to take this big pin out. That is holding this onto this, and this is actually the pivot point. But it looks like this should have done something, but it's captured in there. You can't get it out, and it doesn't do anything. I don't see anything that it's just going into a recessed hole there. Yeah, I don't see anything. I guess it just kind of hangs out. That's getting a little pinched right there. But let's give it a shot like that. One more step in achieving perfection here, Kaizen or continuous improvement. I've moved the loader over here, loaded up all those pieces of the rounds that I've split. I also went and grabbed a hatchet. Yeah, I remember when I used to split red oak, basically the hatchet is your best friend. Typically one that you don't like very much because you're going to be breaking up these strands, and a lot of time you're going to break through and hit the bottom of your splitter there. So I had one. I think I've got one somewhere that I don't really care about. But for right now, I've got this one. This is my felling hatchet. I actually made this handle and this hatchet on this channel. I made this out of a wheelbarrow handle. So whatever wood that happens to be. I got that little camp axe head off of eBay for about 15 or 20 bucks, and then replacement wheelbarrow handle, and there you go. But yeah, let's continue on here with some of the vertical split and get some of these split up. Yeah, I started out with some bigger chunks here, like you can see. It's actually going to be easier if I quarter them. That way they're easier to handle, you know, when I'm in a standing position. But I don't want to handle these. I want to handle them as little as possible on the ground here. This is all bent over work, not ergonomic, not good. Well, that is a true test of, you know, answering the question, does this have 27 tons of power? Man, I would say that and more. Having to split the knotted up crotches of this red oak, that is absolutely more than I could ask for from any amount of splitter, you know? I mean, just chewed right through this crotch wood. and these knots. I mean, this one here is the one that struggled with the most, but it basically just sheared it off right there, you know, where it met up. And you know, there was a big branch coming off of this one, and man, that looks, this red oak is the best firewood in my opinion. Down there in the comments if you think so too. Well, I think we've got our efficient work center all set up here. So this is my workstation. This is where I'm going to be standing. That's where the firewood's going to be going, and this is where the firewood's going to be coming from. With one step, I can grab, load, split, and throw. Oddly enough, this is kind of how my, you know, before YouTube, I wrote work instructions for very complex pieces of machinery, video cameraed it, went back, you know, step by step, PowerPoint, PDF, digital copies, all that good stuff. So this is kind of my wheelhouse. But let's get started and see if we can split some of this up. Two tools that I'm going to have just in case to make it a little bit more efficient is going to be a hatchet and a pickaroo. It is that time. Lessons learned and thoughts on the new log splitter and my process. Sorry, some of my real job work comes into play on some of these videos. You know, lean manufacturing and that. If you want to learn more about that, you should probably take a course at an accredited university so you can actually be versed in what you're talking about, not just spit out keywords and catchphrases that somebody's heard at a trade show somewhere and act like you know what you're talking about. But efficiency is the name of the game, and having the logs here to there is really nice. As far as the splitter and improvements and modifications, I don't think you really need any. No matter what kind of splitter you get, the key thing that is going to be beneficial is going to be cycle time. And the quicker you can get this wedge through the wood, you know, in the amount of tonnage that you need is really what you're after. Again, 27 ton, and you saw it splitting through some of the knottiest crotchwood on red oak, really without a problem. So, you know, I don't see myself needing a bigger one. Having the longer ram stroke is definitely beneficial. what else? Oh, it was able to stroke, far enough down to split all those, stringers that are hanging on there. And, having a sacrificial little hatchet like that is going to be really beneficial. Although I did take a little nick right there coming down and striking the wedge. So a sacrificial one from like Harbor Freight or something you just really don't care about is going to be what you want. And I'm going to have to find mine. I didn't end up using the picaroon because everything was so within reach, I didn't really have to. But another way to do this would be with the wheelbarrow over a bunch of logs and then, have them right there where you can just load the splitter up and then unload it to something. For my process here, one thing I'm thinking about doing is getting the IBC totes. A lot of people have used those with success. And if you have, a machine that's got forks on it, that makes a lot of sense. Being able to fill those up, move them around, set them and forget about them until you need them, and then pick them up and move them to where you want them, and you can load them. For my case, it's right next to the wood stove where I can just load them into the wood stove, so that makes a whole lot of sense for me. But yeah, the more money you put into your splitter and the type of splitter, the more expensive type of splitters where you're just an operator moving controls and it's doing the cutting of the log and the loading of the log and the splitting with, multi wedge pieces and stuff like that. You really got to look at the cost benefit there because, if you spend $30,000 on that machine, are you selling $30,000 worth of firewood a year? That would make sense, right? If that's what you're doing and you're a one-man operation with, a machine that is going to load logs and then the machine is going to, index those logs, split them up for you, and then, pass them along to somewhere where you're storing them. That would make sense. But as far as it goes, there's always going to be a man in the operation. So, even if you've got like a little Harbor Freight, hand pump splitter, and that works for you, that's going to be just fine, if you're not doing a whole lot. I can see right now I'm going to be loading my wood stove up with cords a year, so this splitter is just perfect for me, where I'm doing maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 cords a year, something like that. Just perfect, lightweight, fast cycle time. I love it. It was best purchase, first purchase of the year, 2024. Best purchase of 2024. Well, maybe my generator, but this is going to see a lot more use than that. So, anyways. If you like these type of videos, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. If not, I got a real job. Do whatever you want to do, but get out there, have you some man time too. Wait, real quick, before you click away, I did find an actual safety hazard with this machine, an actual real safety hazard where you could burn down the machine. Right here is where a lot of bark and slough off of the logs ends up landing, and I was kind of brushing this stuff off from out of here because it piles up and then it runs back and underneath the ram here. It can collect right on top of the muffler and start a fire. So that may or may not be in the manual, but that's definitely something I saw a little smoldering coming up, and it was all of the bark and stuff had kind of piled up right there on the muffler, and it was starting to smolder. So be real careful there. Safety tip not often coming from man time. This is the this channel is dedicated to things that men are drawn to do, right? The things that you want to do, not some of the stuff that you have to do. Some of the stuff that I have to do is stuff that I want to do too, like this stuff here. But yeah, be careful there. Get out there, have you some man time.